When everything is tough and life is hard, you need to remember that greatness takes time. We all have those moments where we face adversities or we've got like hurdles which feel unbearable. It's like we're carrying the weight of the whole world on our shoulders. And sometimes it feels easier to like just quit and just say, no, I'm not going to continue doing this. But the honest truth is, every person who's made it, who's successful at this point in time, they went through the same things, but the key factor was that they never gave up.
And the Central Park crowds are astounded to see three men.
The driving force or the silent force which is behind every successful person's successful story. And it's more about the ability to like go on and keep on trying your best despite the path being lonely, being dark, being rough, you know. And it's never always about who's the fastest or who's the strongest. It's about the person who refuses to quit. For example, if the person who's not smart enough puts in the work every day, for example, to start a business, they put in the work every day, they do what is required every single day to reach their goal of having that big business or that big company, they'll always outwork or win over the person who could be smart, have all the degrees in the world, but doesn't put in the work. Let's just take a moment to understand why it's essential for you as an individual to have perseverance. And because life at times just throws us into hell. It's not a straight path, right? There's always some bumps along the way, challenges, obstacles, trials and tribulations. And these challenges just come in various forms, whether you're having problems in your professional career or just having personal struggles or personal issues, or just sometimes something unexpected, which is bad, just happens. And it does suck, but it's always good to like remember that all these challenges, all these trials, all these tribulations are a part of life, because there is no good without bad. For there to be good things, there also need to be bad things, yin and yang, to keep things balanced. Let's look at the story of J.K. Rowling. I think she's the author of Harry Potter. Yeah, she is. And, her story is quite interesting because before she became an author, she was faced with numerous rejections from the story I've read, where she would try to have publishers work on a book, and she kept on getting rejected. And to face those kind of adversities, you're a single mother and you're living on welfare, and you obviously have like some kind of depression, right? And sadness. And instead of her giving up, she poured her heart into writing, and eventually, with her trying her best every single day, the perseverance paid off, and which changed her life forever. Now she's like a well-known author. And her story is interesting because it points out something which is very vital, which is perseverance builds your character, builds your strength, and builds your resilience, my bad. Every problem or adversity which you face is an opportunity for you to learn and say, oh, okay, this bad thing happened. What can I learn from this particular problem which I faced? And once you take the lessons from there, you use it as a way to move forward, and be stronger. Because with every obstacle you now face, you you are now well equipped to be like, oh, okay, no, now I'm better now. I've had that problem before. Now it's no longer much of an issue, you know. Let's take the story of Michael Jordan, for example, the famous basketballer. He was actually cut off from the high school basketball team. And I'm sure you can imagine like the disappointment he would have had at that point in time from like being cut off from his favorite sport, right? And it was quite hard on him, but instead of him seeing it as a setback, he continued to train to become better. And he once famously said that he missed like about 9,000 shots and lost about 300 games. And when there were many times where he was like entrusted with the game winning shots and he would have he missed. And he took it as that, yes, I failed over and over again, but that's the whole reason I've succeeded. It's not because the failures were a bad thing. The failures were to continue to teach me, to help me grow, become stronger. And with that in mind about Michael Jordan's words and his story, it should also like serve as a reminder to each and every one of you that failure is not the end. It's like part of the process. Sometimes you walk and you fall and you know things happen, right? Bad things happen along the way, but it's those failures actually shape us and prepare us for the victories that lie ahead. And some people always ask me like, so how do we then like cultivate that perseverance into our own lives? I would say, first of all, you need to have like a clear vision or clear goals about what you want in life. For example, if you want to start a business, of course, you're going to set up the long-term goals and your long-term vision, stuff like that. But for you to not really feel overwhelmed, I would suggest to break down your goals into smaller, achievable objectives. It's like, for example, in a video game, they don't give you like the mission to go to the final end of the story right away. You need to complete smaller objectives or side quests, and then eventually you get to the end goal, or you get to the end of the story. And I would also say it's always good to have a growth mindset. And by that, I mean viewing all the challenges, all the hurdles, all the trials and tribulations, not as obstacles, but seeing them as learning opportunities to be better and to be more strong and to be more resilient. And when you eventually start to believe in yourself that you can improve and you can be better and be well equipped to face any challenge head on, you're most likely to push through anything that will come your way, good or bad. And this one is actually the next one is actually very important. It's always good to surround yourself with the right kinds of people, because the bad kinds of people can ruin you like very bad. Trust me, I've been there. It's not a fun place to be. So it's always good to have people around you who are like more supportive, or who encourage you to be better, who build you. And because positive influence do make a significant influence or difference when you're facing difficulties. And you can share your goals with them and lean on those kinds of people when the tough times come. Another thing would be have compassion for yourself. I know sometimes you might feel like talking shitty things or bad things about yourself when things are going wrong, saying like, I don't deserve this, or something along the lines of, or you could say, I deserve this ain't working out for me. You know, that self-hate, like that self-hate talk or dialogue which you have in your brain, you shouldn't do that to yourself. sometimes it's just better to be at least be more compassionate and kind to yourself, and to understand that setbacks are a part of life, and to also remember to treat yourself in a more compassionate and kind way, in which you would do to a friend or a brother or a family member when they're going through bad things. And it's okay to stumble, it's okay to fall. What's most important is how you get back and how you respond to that adversity which you're facing. And one more important tip, I guess, is to be committed to the cause. Remember, for you to be able to persevere, it's all about consistency. If you want to start that YouTube channel and start posting content, try your hardest every time and do your best every single day. Keep showing up no matter whether things are going good, whether things are going bad. And eventually, God, or whatever you guys believe in, God eventually rewards you for your dedication, for your hard work, and it all pays off eventually. Success is a long road which is actually paved with perseverance. So when things get tough and things get hard, you're faced with trials and tribulations, you should just push through that pain and through all that doubt and all those fears. Start that YouTube channel. If you want to become an influencer, you can do it. Nobody can stop you except your own limiting beliefs. And I always believe, like, if it's better to fail than not try at all, because you don't want to think of something. For example, if you want to start a YouTube channel or you want to be an influencer, and then you think a couple of years later from now that, I could have done that. You don't want to be in that position. So it's better to try, and if it fails, it fails, right? But you use it as a learning experience to become better. Because the moment you decide to keep on going, to persevere through all the hurdles, that's when actually you start to win. That's when you actually start to win. And that's when God sees, like, this guy, everything's going bad for him, but he's pushing through, he's persevering, he's trying his hardest. And for the final words, I would just like to say that the power to persevere is within you. It's a matter of you trusting yourself, and above all else, I don't know what other people believe in, but I'm Muslim. I believe in God. I believe in Allah, and I trust that Allah will reward you, or God will reward you for all your hard work or your dedication. And another thing is, just don't give up on yourself. Never give up on yourself. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. And remember, you're stronger than any challenge that may come your way.